Hi everyone, my name is Yuki Yasui, and I attended the 7-day Chanshimon workshop. This workshop was a little different from workshops like One Heart or Camp Journey. It was more like a 9 to 5 jobs, but you feel sleepy half the time. But I think this workshop was actually great. I learned many things and I also experienced many things. Something that I noticed after the workshop was that I was able to pray better. I was able to pray longer and deeper and felt as if God was trying to talk to me. Another memorable experience I had was when I received special answers during the workshop. That was an interesting experience. After the answer, I went to pray, and suddenly I felt this warmth in my stomach, as if somebody made me free. I also felt a tingling sensation in my stomach, which gave me a weird feeling that I can't explain. I sincerely want to thank Dr. Kim, Dr. Chung, Dr. Kambashi, and Dr. Compton who took time off their summer to give us lectures. I also want to thank the cooks, Atsuko-san, Takako-san, Mieko-san, Midori-san, Onka-san, Miss Kumei Jeriz, my mom, and everyone else I'm forgetting. Your food was delicious and a big highlight of my workshop experience. I also want to give a shout out to Dr. Kim, Dr. Chung, and Russ Red Hyung for giving us this opportunity to participate in the workshop before heading back to school. Thank you for listening to my testimony.
Thank you, Ryuki. He's 13 years old, right? 13 years old. Wow. Let's give him another hand, please. Our next participant, oldest of them all, but 18 years old, currently in college, going into her second year. I'd like to invite up Risako Sato to share her experience.
Hello, my name is Risako Sato, and today I will talk about my experience in the Chonshin 7-day workshop. Well, first of all, let's see here. This was my first time attending a workshop like this. I didn't know what to expect. There was a lot of people I didn't know from both from other states and from other countries. But I am very grateful for the faces that I did recognize, a lot of familiar faces actually, even from like outside of the Las Vegas community, which was actually pretty cool. The presence of my peers made it a lot less daunting than it would have been, and it made me feel a lot more comfortable. So I'm really grateful for that they were there. As the workshop progressed, I was able to get to know other members of our community from outside of Las Vegas community, and that was actually pretty cool. I didn't expect that I was going to be able to make connections with people outside of Las Vegas community, but I did, and that was nice. I liked that. There were a lot of lectures. There were like, was it 4 every day? 4 every day, and there were lots of Chanyang sessions too. A lot of the lectures were really difficult for me to understand, but there were parts of each lecture that really stood out to me and really spoke to me and inspired me to like think about my life a bit, think what type of direction I want to go, who am I, what am I doing? So some of these lessons I learned were about how the growth of your spirit is in your own hands. God gave us the free will to make our choices, and He enjoys, or she also, but He enjoys seeing what we choose and what we decide to do, especially like our hobbies or our careers. Those can bring Him great joy. So that's something I learned. Another thing I also learned is to follow your heart, because half of the answers to the problems in your life are already within you. You need to maybe pray, or meditate, or take the time to truly understand your inner heart, and that will help you. I also learned the physical world is temporary. The physical world is temporary, and the spiritual world, this is more important, is eternal. So, right, even if like no matter how much money we make or what we do in life, what's most important is the bonds we make, the kindness we give and receive. That's something that really spoke to me and inspired me. And oh no. Oh yeah, there's this quote that I really like, but I didn't write it down properly. But it's along the lines of what is it? Give as though you were giving from a heavenly treasure, because in the end, like everything that exists on this earth is from God. So giving isn't your loss. It isn't a loss from you. It is something. It is you sharing what God has given us to God's children, to God's other children. You're also God's child. So, yeah, that's something that's a few things I took away from this workshop, and there's a lot more. I have to still look through my notes. There's so many notes. Oh my God. But I'm really grateful for all the hard work and effort and time put into this workshop. All the participants there, they were really friendly, the ones I talked to at least. I didn't get the courage to talk to many of them, even though I kind of wanted to. But I'm also grateful for the staff who was involved in cooking. I don't know who cleans your parents' house, but somebody is cleaning them, and that's really cool. Like, dang, somebody's taking all this time to actually take care of church. So thank you for listening to my little testimony. And this was my experience at the Chonchon 1 7-day workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Risako. Yeah, she paid attention a lot during the workshop, always taking notes, and I know she gained so much from it. Thank you, Risako. Next, I'd like to invite up Senki Yasui, to share his experience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Senki Yasui, and this past week, I was invited to the Chonshon 7-day workshop by my youth pastor, Restaurant. I heard about this workshop several times in the past, and I thought it would be a good idea to grow my faith before going back to school. With that in mind, I chose to join. I have been in several youth workshops in the past years, but this was the first time joining a workshop for all ages, old and young, and it was really a new experience for me. Mostly the 4 hours of lecture every day. I'm only used to 2 hours of workshops. But one thing I did struggle was to keep myself awake. But however, I was able to gain a lot during this workshop, and several things I have gained from this workshop is that Dr. Kim shared about how important Las Vegas is and how powerful it is to change America. And I also learned the struggles this movement had to build this IPEC right here that I'm standing on. Dr. Chung gave a lecture about frequency, about Heavenly Parent, about frequency, and I learned that to resonate with God is to match my frequency with Heavenly Parent. And I also learned that praying loudly together with people allows more opportunity to resonance with God's Heavenly Parent. So right now, I'm practicing praying a louder voice little by little. During this workshop, I had a realization. During the night visual and I was praying, I remember something that Dr. Kambashi said during a lecture. It was about how true parents was able to become one with Heavenly Parent and allowed Heavenly Parent to become the ancestor of all humankind. And that really hit me really hard. I've only been looking at true mother, true father, and Jesus as the only begotten daughter, son, in the second advent. And I realized it was much more than that. They embodied Heavenly Parent, and it meant they were also our parents. They were not just sons and daughters of Heavenly Parent, but they were also our parent of all humankind. And I would like to also show my gratitude to all the staff who was able to make this possible. I would like to thank Dr. Kim, Dr. Chun, Dr. Kambashi and Dr. Compton for allowing us to have a feel and listen to this amazing lecture they have given us. I also want to show gratitude to the Chonshiwon staff. Willis, Ion, Hankook, Senji, Sumika, Tatsuyo, and Yoko, and the Ansu sisters. I also want to thank all the kitchen staff for allowing us to fill our stomach with delicious food every day. I really learned a lot. I pushed myself, and I really grew during this workshop, and it was really a truly amazing experience. I felt that it is something I hope that it can inspire many members and encourage them to attend this workshop at least once in their lifetime. Thank you for listening to my testimony, and thank you. That's all.
Good job.
Thank you, thank you. You forgot to talk about playing basketball almost every night.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, next I'd like to invite up Risako's brother, Hayato Sato. Let's welcome him up. Hayato.
Hello. During the 21 7-day workshop, I expanded my knowledge on some various aspects of our unification movement, and I grew my faith and spirit, even if just by a little bit. During the first day of the workshop, I thought that the seemingly endless lectures and Ansu sessions would bore and tire me out. However, I actually found myself enjoying the atmosphere of Chanyang and realizing some of the lectures to be very interesting, informative, and logical. For example, I learned how all real things, including God, have internal nature and external form, and how all physical things cannot be eternal, in contrast to the much more substantial spiritual world. I also learned more about how, as a spiritual mind and a physical body, we are meant to take full control of our body's actions and even thoughts, and be able to love with a filial heart of selflessness. Looking back at the 7 days of being around my church friends, praying, eating, and going through long lectures, I can say I've grown and enjoyed this workshop. Thank you for listening.
Hayato. Yeah, he's extremely well disciplined. You know, he was up before everybody, always doing dishes, even though it wasn't his rotation every single time. If you were there at the workshop, you would have seen him. And also, he was always very eager, unlike most others, to go to the night vigil. And so, Hayato, and one night in the mornings, let's give him a hand. Yeah. All right, and next I'd like to invite up Hiromitsu Kosaka. He's going to his first year of college at CSN in about a week's time. And so, now he'll share his testimony. Let's welcome up Hiro.
Hi everyone, my name is Hiromitsu Kosaka. Originally, when I learned that I was going to be participating in the 7-day workshop, I was flabbergasted. It was really sudden, and I was scheduled to work 4 days that week, so I contemplated even going. Ultimately, I decided to go because in my mind, it was an opportunity to hang out with my brothers and sister for a whole week, and that would be worth attending the lectures and vigils. I can say with confidence that I definitely felt it was worth it in that regard. When reflecting on what I gained from lectures, what stood out to me was gratitude, because while I was growing up, I didn't truly appreciate the life I was given. And now that I'm coming to an age where I can, I feel that I've been wasting so much of it. Dr. Kim made me realize how much true parents invested in America and Las Vegas. Dr. Chung showed me how to find gratitude in my daily life, and Dr. Kambashi helped me understand why true mother is so important. The point that stood out to me the most was said by Dr. Compton. He asked the question, what would you do if you had 2 years left to live? This question resonated with me because I've been living life so blandly. I haven't been putting enough time into the things I've been really wanting to do and make many excuses. Being on the younger side deceives me because I always procrastinate on the pretense that I'll have time later. But this workshop has really made me realize the value of time and what God has given me. While what I learned may not be everything I could have learned, I hope to incorporate what I did learn into my life to be a true child of God. Thank you.
He has like extreme stage fright. It's not the first time, but there was a huge thank you. Let's give a hand to Hiro, by the way. So Junsei also attended. You just saw him run out. Just a little bit. He's very scared of speaking in front of people. But today was a big victory he shared in front of his peers. So I'll read his testimony, which he wrote. So just think of me as Junsei Yanai. Hello, my name is Junsei Yanai, and I attended the 7-day Chonshimon workshop. I have been to other workshops like One Heart Camp, but this one was different. I had learned of this workshop happening the same day it started, and I was excited to attend it because of my friends. I tried my hardest to pay attention to every lecture, even though I only had 6 hours of sleep every night. I had a hard time staying awake and fell asleep during some of the lectures. However, I think I learned a lot in the time that I was awake. The part I took the most from was something Dr. Compton said in his lecture. He said something along the lines of, "Your parents will always forgive you." This made me think of my relationship with my parents, and I realized I never thanked my parents for everything they have done for me, so I will say it now. Thank you, Mom, Dad, for everything. And it made me realize I don't really talk to my parents a lot, and I feel that is something for me to work on. This workshop was pretty eye-opening for me, and I would definitely recommend it to everyone. I would also like to thank all the Chonshimon staff for making it possible, and Resford Hyung for encouraging us to attend the workshop. Again, thank you, Mom, Dad. Sorry for all of my shortcomings. I love you. That's him. Let's give Junsei a hand.